Hey everyone, Updog here, and I got a special, super duper special guest with me today. It's Community Manager Archangel. How's it going, Archangel?
Going great. Can't complain.
Good. Before we get started, if you're new to my channel, make sure you check out my other videos. I do 2 videos a week about usually, and I usually cover stuff that a lot of the other content creators don't cover. So I would appreciate a subscribe if you enjoy my content. So let's get started here with Archangel. We're just going to kind of go over some information about him since he's kind of the face of the community for us, representing the community, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yep. And so I figured it'd be nice to get to know you a little bit better. So, because I personally, there's quite a few envoys in the program, and you're always a busy guy, so we don't get to have these kind of conversations. And I thought it'd be nice for the community to get to know you too. So, well, let's see. First thing up, how many days have you been playing Marvel Strike Force?
Well, according to achievements in the game right now, I'm at 1,449 days, which
Nice.
means I'm just over 4 years.
Nice. That's about same where I'm at. So, did you take any breaks over that time? Like, stop playing for a couple months or anything like that?
So the story is Marvel Strike Force came out, and I am a big time gamer, and I've been playing mobile games for nearly a decade. And when Marvel Strike Force came out, I immediately tried it because my favorite genre is RPGs, and I love turn-based RPGs. I was playing 2 other mobile games at the time, so I picked up Marvel Strike Force, thought it was gorgeous,
Mm-hmm.
it was great, and I played it for up until Ant-Man and Wasp came out, and by that
Okay.
point, it was too much to play 3 games, and
Gotcha.
so I decided to drop MSF. But
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes I would always download the game and occasionally look into the game and see what was going on. And during the Black Order meta is when I picked the game up one day, saw an offer for X-Men, and said, "Oh my god, I got to have the entire X-Men team." And I ended up dropping my other games and playing Marvel Strike Force as my sole mobile game.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, that's kind of similar to what I did. I, played really casually for a while, and then I really, really went hard into it. So, so what kind of drew you to the game initially? Then, like, you kind of touched on a little bit, but was there anything else to add to that, or?
Well, first of all, I love Marvel, so
Right.
I love superheroes. Period. I mean, I'm also a big fan of lots of other types of hero stories out there. And
Mm-hmm.
as I said, I love turn-based RPGs. So when MSF came out, I was playing Swolga at the time, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is just like that." And then I went in and started playing it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this game is gorgeous." And
Yeah.
then on top of that, I remember when it came out around that time, you could get Daredevil
Mm.
by linking your Facebook,
Oh,
and I
nice.
was like, done, and got Daredevil. And this was right off the heels of the Netflix show, so like
Yep.
it was so cool to get Daredevil because I'm
Uh-huh.
also a huge Daredevil fan.
Okay.
And nonetheless, that's what drew me to it was the graphics and the gameplay.
Nice. All right. So what keeps you playing the game now? Like, as since you've been playing for 4 years, what keeps you around?
Well, the besides being very competitive, I also run an alliance. So making friends over the years has really done that.
Yep.
I will say the number one driving force is for a lot of us who are competitive is the Pokemon theme comes to mind. I want to be the very best. Uh, but yeah, the game is I love turn-based RPGs and I like the competitive nature of it. I like figuring out neat comps. I like being
Mm-hmm.
able to go in and have a problem and figure out how to beat it. So that combined with the social aspect, and of course now I get to work on the game, so that's an added bonus as well. It's
Right.
really awesome when I'm literally at a job where you can be at your desk playing the game and
Mm-hmm.
it's okay, and
Right. Yep.
that's awesome.
Yep. True. Is there any character not in the game that you'd like to see in the game?
Sentinels.
Sentinels.
I am a huge Sentinel fan. I've always thought they were kind of cool, like in the original cartoon, 97 cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I remember I got a toy from Toys R Us around the time the cartoon came out, and I played with that Sentinel toy all the time. And
Nice.
when Marvel versus Capcom
Mm.
3 came out,
Mm-hmm.
Sentinel was one of my main members of my team,
Oh,
and
nice.
I played the game pretty seriously back when that came out. Like at my GameStop store I manage, we also would have small tournaments, and one of the prizes was if you could beat the manager me in the bonus round. And I never had to give up the bonus prize because I took out the winner every time.
Nice.
Uh, so anytime somebody walked in the store and then they were like, oh yeah, I'm really good at this game, and I'm like, I don't think you can handle my Sentinel. So yeah, I love Sentinel.
That's awesome.
I've always enjoyed them, so I look forward to hopefully seeing those one day.
Nice. Awesome. So what about your favorite game modes in the game? What do you like doing? You like doing
Well, that is
flips, right?
definitely it's favorite modes have definitely fluctuated over the years.
Okay.
And it depends on which week you ask me, because obviously if I'm strapped for time and very busy,
Yep.
Cosmic Crucible may not be my favorite that day because I don't
Yeah.
have the time to put it in the energy into it I need to. But
Yep.
overall, I would say Cosmic Crucible is my favorite. But I do really like War as well,
Okay.
and I do like War especially better on days where I'm busy because I don't have to be as efficient in my attacks, right?
Yeah, like
But
me, I'm a leader of my alliance too, and yeah, when I get busy and have not a lot of time and not as efficient in my attacks, it's like, well, I'm the leader, so I guess I have that a little luxury a little bit. At the summit in October last year, I know I mentioned to you that we faced each other in Crucible one time. That must have been one of your busy weeks because I beat you that time. So
yeah,
so
you'll find my power has doubled since the last time we faced.
yeah, probably. Yeah, I probably won't see you anymore ever again.
And for those that don't get that quote, that's from a movie, so
Gotcha.
don't take it literal.
No, I mean I'm in Diamond 2, 3, depending on the week, but I'm sure you're a little lot higher than that now. But so, what about? Could you tell us your summary of your journey to becoming the community manager? I know Tana had applied for the job. I know probably a few other people that had applied. I'm sure it was a highly there's a lot of applications for it, and this has been what, like a year and a half, 2 years ago now that you got the job,
Almost two.
almost two.
Oh,
So, uh,
almost two.
how did you get the job?
Well, I have told this story before that I would watch the daily video from Mobile Gamer,
Hmm.
and he advertised that, hey, there's an opening for the community manager for Marvel Strike Force. And when I saw that, I immediately grabbed my phone and hit apply.
Nice.
And uh, base basically, I got the first interview, which was amazing. And once I did that interview, then I did several more after that. And
Hmm.
after doing all the interviews, I was then offered the job. Basically, what they were looking for at the time was they really wanted to find someone who really played the game like seriously and knew you know more so than just logged in every day, right?
Right.
They
Yeah.
wanted someone who was really engaged. At When they saw my TCP at the time and we spoke about how I ran an alliance, how I was in a cluster,
Hmm.
I was able to speak about topics like recruiting,
Hmm.
managing the Discord, stuff like that.
Hmm.
But then, of course, too, they wanted not just that, they also wanted passion involved. And they saw how passionate I was about the game.
Yep.
And also, too, I had years of management. So, because of all the years of management I had, that definitely helps in terms of that translating over. A lot of the skills that I had acquired through especially retail and things like that really did come over well.
Mm.
And basically, they taught me the rest. And I will say I got tremendous, amazing training and education from
Mm.
Cerebro
Okay.
for the last year and a half. I
Awesome.
cannot believe how much I was able to learn.
Hmm. Nice. Awesome. That's great. Yeah, we'll miss Cerebro a lot. I know I will. I always loved Strike Time and everything that he did. So it'll be interesting for him, especially to see what happens in the game going forward. So, can you give us a couple of examples of things that you've done or that you're doing now while in your role as community manager right now?
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good question because I think the player base has a certain concept of what they think a community manager is supposed to do.
Right.
And I think for a lot of people, they think of it as like being in there and responding to comments a
Right.
lot. And
Right.
while I do that, the fact of the matter is I could spend hours talking to a couple of people, or I can do something that's going to impact tens of thousands
Right.
of players.
Hmm.
So the thing is there has to be a balance. You spend a little bit of time uh, addressing or comments and players, but there are so many other, when you have a game like this with as many players as it has,
Right.
there's so many things that needs to be done. So I actually spent a lot of time holistically looking at feedback and not
Hmm.
just from one place. I
Right.
have to go around, and also I have lots of tools that I'm supplied to be able to do it even more quickly and more efficiently.
Right.
But I try to get a really good overarching picture of what does the community as a whole feel right now about this, about that. And
Hmm.
I spend a lot of my time gathering feedback, and then
Hmm.
it's up to me then to relay it concisely and efficiently to
Right.
those that need to get that feedback so
Yep.
that important decisions can be made. And
Yep.
so we also have, like, for example, there's a meeting that I run where I'm able to present a lot of these things of leadership, and we're able to get a lot of things adjusted. And when it comes
Right.
to like compensation around an issue, or when an issue comes up, I'm very involved in the conversation whenever that comes up. And I'm actually asked for my opinion a lot, which is really awesome that the developers really include community the way they do.
Right.
And
Yep.
I think recent events really speak to that.
Yes, definitely. I agree. Yep. Yeah, especially I'd say for me, I noticed a big turnaround about May of last year, 2023. And ever since then, it's just been going up, up, up. Like taking the feedback from the community, stuff like that. And I know that when you first started, or at least from my perspective anyway, when you first started, you were in the Discord, in the Twitch chats a lot, trying to reach out to people and respond. I thought that was a great way to handle things, but I just wanted to make sure that people know that just because you're not doing that as much today, that doesn't mean that you don't care. You're just doing more behind the scenes. Like you said, you're trying to reach more, affect more people in a bigger way than just maybe a few hundred, few thousand, or tens of thousands is what you're aiming for. So
I will add to that as well. Most players know that I do the weekly blog,
yeah.
and a lot of times I've seen comments to, like, it's a few paragraphs. Well, that weekly blog is a monumental task. It's actually a 2 week process
Hmm.
because it has to be coordinated through several different departments.
Right.
And so it is a very big task. That's also a big part of the job as well, is getting that blog, all the information together, and then also it gets sent off and translated into 16 languages.
Yeah.
And then I actually publish it. So I have to put all of those languages into the publishing software.
Right.
So yeah, that's a really big task as well. And
Right.
that's a good chunk of my time is spent on the blog as well.
Right. Yep. Yep. I definitely see that from my behind, or even my little bit of behind the scenes, being an envoy. But just it's nice for the community to know that as well. So, what's your history of gaming in general? Like, did you start when you were pretty young? Tell us a little bit about that.
I remember vividly when I was 4 years old, waiting outside of my house, right by the edge of the woods, as I was pacing anxiously for my brother to get back from going down the neighborhood to buy our first NES Nintendo
Ah,
system from the
nice.
neighbor.
Okay.
And
Oh,
so
from the neighbor.
Duck Hunt was my first big love, and then
Mm-hmm.
eventually graduated to Mario Brothers 2,
Oh,
um,
okay.
and then Kung Fu, and
Mm-hmm.
it went on from there. My favorite genre, as I mentioned earlier, is RPG. So Dragon Warrior 1 was
Okay.
huge for me on the NES, and then all the Dragon Warriors and Dragon Quest. Final Fantasies, I'm a big fan of, but Dragon Quest is a much bigger game for me than Final Fantasy. Although Final
Okay.
Fantasy 7 is up there for me as well.
Yeah.
But basically, after the NES, I've owned almost every gaming system but the Ataris, the Engage, and the Segas.
Okay.
Um, Of course, who had to engage, right? Um, and I will never forget Castlevania 4 when it Super
Mm,
Castlevania when it came out on the
mm-hmm,
SNES,
mm-hmm.
being like, "Oh my god, look at the graphics!" And
Yep.
even today, I still think it was great. But and then on to the eras. Now I have two PS5s, my Switch, and my gaming rig.
Nice.
So I am still very much a hardcore gamer.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. Pretty much the same for me. So that's cool to find out that similarity. All right. So I heard that you made a new account, kind of an alt account, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like how's that journey coming along?
I actually do that occasionally to keep a good pulse on what it's like for new players.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, there's a lot of things being done to address the game for new players, and a lot of stuff yet to come. But nonetheless, yeah, one of the big changes that everyone knows about, or at least if they read the blog, they do, or if they started a new account, I'm sure they noticed,
Mm-hmm.
was the legendary events were changed drastically. The
Right.
stuff that was needed to get the characters.
Yep.
So I will say the biggest thing that changed about playing a new game, oh wow, like it was within less than 3 days, already had two legendaries, Doc Ock, Iron Man, and had the Wave One Avengers, and had Sinister Six with Doc Ock. So
Nice.
we're talking like on day 4 being able to be in the top 500 in the arena, being able to just beat so much content and having fun because you knew you were investing in really powerful and really good characters.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, so that's been the biggest thing for me playing that new game. The new game
Mm-hmm.
was just seeing that change and being able to just really invest in characters that were just so good, characters that you knew were going to last you throughout the entire journey and be
Right.
able to use
Right.
the
Yep.
great.
Always had a you have a better feeling when you invest into a team that you know is going to be a good long-term investment over where you like some of the I remember some of the campaigns you had to build like aim or something. So at least right now anyway, aim's probably not the best choice. So for a long-term investment anyway. So is there anything else you wanted to talk about, like real life interests or anything like that?
Well, definitely my biggest hobby is gaming. Used to be bigger into sports. I am huge into NFL, the pro
Mm-hmm.
football.
Yeah.
Gaming, I am very much so excited about the upcoming 2 months because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I am uber excited for that.
Yep.
I'm also a big Vanillaware fan, and they
Okay.
are finally releasing a new game, Unicorn Overlord Unicorn. Is it Unicorn Overlord or over? I can't remember
One of
which
those
order it
two.
is. It comes out next month. I'm excited about
Nice.
that game
Nice.
because it really feels like the old Ogre Battle 64 Ogre Battle SNES game
Okay.
with modern graphics with Vanillaware art. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to coming up,
Nice.
and I can't wait to play those games.
Awesome. Cool. Couple of MCU questions. Who do you think is the best MCU villain, best and worst MCU villain?
Worst is easy. Galactus from that movie. I love Galactus, and I really look forward to one day seeing him in his glory.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Best has to be Thanos. I just don't know if we're ever going to be able to top because of the way that was done, the way the buildup was,
Yeah.
like having so many movies
Right.
build up to him, and then having a 2-part movie the way they did. Like
Yeah.
I just remember
Yeah.
I remember so much watching those movies in the movies theater and the way it affected and the excitement. And so yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to top that. Although I would like to see a Doctor Doom being done.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
I would like to see him in his glory. I would like to see Galactus in his glory.
Yep.
Also, I would like. I'm not as critical about Apocalypse in the last movie as a lot of people are,
Mm-hmm.
but doesn't change the fact that he's pretty epic villain and on Thanos level. So it would be nice if we could somehow get a similar treatment for him.
Yep. I agree. Yep. Definitely. So, what about the future MCU projects? What things are you looking forward to for those?
Daredevil.
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 Yep.
I
Yep.
I Anytime Daredevil shows up somewhere, I'm there. First episode of Echo, episode in She-Hulk,
Yep.
Daredevil. I love Daredevil.
So if your expectations are so high, hopefully that doesn't. Hopefully you don't get let down there.
Charlie Cox doesn't disappoint, so I
Yeah,
have all
true.
faith in him.
True. Yep. And hopefully with the community poll, Karen Page will win that, and you never know. We'll
That's who has
see.
my vote.
Yep, me too. Awesome, awesome. So, looking forward to the future of the game. Maybe we'll see what we can squeeze out of you here. Is there anything you can tell the like the new to mid game players that they can be excited about coming up?
There's not a lot to say just yet. I will say that we have a whole team working on a lot of cool stuff for that. We've seen the preliminary stuff of the legendaries being
Right.
moved up, the requirements changing. So in not too far future, they should see a significant change to a lot of things, which will make new players that come to Marvel Strike Force very happy and having a really great pace to getting them to the end game so that they can really, because that's what everybody wants, right?
Right.
As soon as you start playing, like I remember when I picked it back up during the Black Order era, that was like the
Hmm.
chase every day
Yep.
was I can't wait to catch up with my alliance mates,
Yeah.
start pulling my weight
Hmm.
and owning some peeps.
Right.
And yeah,
Right. Yep. Well, if you check out the last strike time, I think you can maybe find some Easter eggs in there too. So make sure you go check that out. I believe Ryan Jacobson maybe had gave away a little bit more information on what Archangel is trying to hint towards. So, how about for in-game players? Is there anything for us in-game players that's going to be exciting coming up?
very much so. So the already has been rumblings and we've teased about some of the new modes coming. That should be exciting. But on top of that, more immediate, I think, and this also involves new players as well.
Okay.
The anniversary this year, you're going to have to see it. So we cannot wait. We will very soon be giving more details about that.
Hmm.
But I'm very, very excited about what's going to happen for anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah, the anniversary events, from my recollection anyway, have always been pretty good. If you guys improve on that, that's just going to be amazing. So, well, thanks for being on. I really appreciate it. This has been awesome to get to talk to you a little bit more. And any other last words for the folks out there?
Well, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. And for all the players viewing this, please definitely stay tuned to the blogs and on the Marvel Strike Force official Discord. Always make sure you have that announcements channel because that is where we feed you the information. That's the best place to get all of it. And so there's a lot of good stuff to come, and you will find out about it there. So
Yep.
please be there to get that information.
Yep, the blogs have a lot of details in them, and I actually make, if you have seen it before, there's a graphic called Stormwatch. It's kind of a short breakdown on what you need to do for the events coming up for the upcoming week. So if you haven't seen that before, check it out. I'll have a link to my Discord. Other than that, we will catch y'all later. Thanks again, Archangel.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, see ya.